Hello, I'm Eric Pahls, coming to you from the Chancellor's office in Strong Hall in the University of Kansas. It's my honor today to be joined by Chancellor Bernadette Gray-Little. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
Let's jump right into it. How would you describe your leadership style? Would you describe yourself as a tough leader or easygoing? Or?
Yes. So I think that probably most people would describe my style as easygoing, which means that in terms of usual interactions that I'm an easy person to get along with. It does not, however, mean anything about not being tough about what you want or working hard to get to reach the goals that we want to reach. And so I'll say both in some ways.
When you came into this job, is this what you envisioned? Has there been any real surprises in terms of the work itself?
I think the components of the job are things that I envisioned and was familiar with because of the position that I had before. Even though I wasn't chancellor before, I certainly had a good view of the variety of activities that the chancellor would be involved in. And that's true here, and it ranges from, as we were talking about earlier, interaction with students and faculty to members of the legislature, to members of our federal delegation, to national organizations, alumni, just the town, people here in the town, just really a wide variety. The University of Kansas has a very important role in this community and in this state. And because of that, there are many instances in which I have interaction with people from really wide variety of backgrounds and roles.
How have you grown as a leader in this position? What has it taught you?
What have I learned? I think probably the thing that I am learning is when and how the expression of my opinion is best, how it's best done, when it's best done, and so on like that for the different audiences that I'm with. And that sounds kind of like a pat answer, but what my goal is to be truthful with whatever group, but also be effective with them. Right. So learning how to do that with different audiences is a big part of what I'm learning in this role.
And as the face of KU, on a personal and on a university level, what impression do you try to make for whether they're adults or prospective students looking at the university?
This is a place that has something for you. I mean, we have a wide variety of programs and experiences. We're very good at what we do. To try to impress on the prospective students or family just what the opportunities are here, how good our faculty are, the research opportunities, the cultural opportunities, and that this is the experience of a lifetime. Try us. That's what I want to say. Okay.
Moving away from the job a little bit, if you have any time for downtime, what do you like to do? How do you like to spend your free time?
That's always a hard question because some of the things that people do purely for enjoyment and entertainment, I do for enjoyment, entertainment, and work. So I go to the basketball game, which is certainly fun. But I'm also, for example, last night the governor was my guest there, and before the game, I had a group of legislators that were my guests, and before that, a dinner for a small group. And so that whole series of events is certainly a pleasant way to spend time, but it's all mixed up with work. So truly downtime would be reading and away from most of that, because much of the things that you would do, many of the things you do for entertainment, I do for entertainment and work as well.
Right. And you hit on some of those sometimes really large events that you get to attend. In the last several years that you've been here, what memories stick out to you as your favorites?
Ah, boy. That's hard. There are a lot of events. That would really be difficult in terms of large scale of events. But some of the things that I remember as especially satisfying, or not events like that, but that we would have, that one of our students would have gotten a Rhodes Scholarship, that we have the Goldwater Scholarships, that our faculty have gotten grants of certain times, or recognition. Those are really special accomplishments that I take a lot of pleasure in. With regard to the other kind of events where there are lots of people, there are so many of them and they're so different, it would be hard to pick one of those out.
And keeping on the basketball game discussion, your husband is a very animated and devoted fan, and you, alternatively, at the games are very calm. And does that ever clash? Do you ever have to nudge him?
You mean like last night?
Yeah. Did you have to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Occasionally, but not very often. Not very often. But he was getting out of his seat.
Well, I saw at the Baylor game him down in the student section, and I know that made a really good impression. I think he's pretty popular down there.
Well, I'm sure he's heard down there. He's pretty vocal. Yeah. So.
What does the future hold for you? Do you intend to stay here, or do you know that at this point?
Well, certainly. Yeah. But you mean after? Yeah. I'm not looking for what is the next step in my career, if that's your question. I'm not looking for looking to this position as a transition to something else. I'm looking to this position to be here for as long as I can make a contribution, and that's it.
And the last question is, in terms of legacy, if you could decide what your legacy would be, what would you choose?
So it would have to be a couple of things. And one would be, maybe three things. So one would be much higher graduation rate for our students. That is a larger percentage of the ones who enter graduating. Second would be a better pool of resources to support graduate students. It's something that we're building on, but we need to do more. And the third would be a clear recognition that we had moved up in rank in terms of the way our faculty scholarship and research are perceived. Those are really big things for the university, but those would be the things that I would see as major accomplishments for us in the next few years.
Well, thank you for joining us. And thank you guys for joining us. Coming from the University of Kansas, I'm Eric Pahls. See you next time.